I think, Sid, this has been the most memorable UK Open of them all. So many exciting newcomers just across the week. We've seen, of course,
134.
Nicholson, and we've seen Gary Anderson, we've seen Mark Webster coming in, we've seen the emergence of Osborne, we've seen the fighting qualities of Peter Manley. It's been a terrific tournament, but right through it, stitched through it like a golden seam, has been 55. The form of Phil Taylor.
Absolutely. His average over 4 matches was 112, and we've seen Baxter back to the form of 18 years ago. We've seen Painter using gloss and giving people distemper.
60.
Yes, we've got so many exciting possibilities in PDC darts on Sky now. So many great young players emerging. It's great fun. Don't miss it. And a big scorching summer ahead.
They'll be vivacious in Vegas. They'll be brilliant in Blackpool. They'll be dazzling in Dublin. And then we got Ali Pally. And this 4 days has shown you who the jewels in the PDC crown are. Lovely darts.
138.
Well, the pressure is on Taylor. That was a clever shot from Osborne. 88 now for Phil Taylor to avoid going 2 down.
Double 14 on the wire. It's tricky. This has to bend round the marker.
74. Colin, you require 40.
To break Phil Taylor early in the final. Colin Osborne, just to give him a little bit of breathing space. Double top.
Smoggies worldwide will be holding their breath. Tops.
Yes!
Swan Smoggy eyes are smiling. 2-0 to the lad who still speaks with the twang of Middlesbrough.
And Smoggy eyes are smiling. You can bet that Taylor's glum.
And as to darting talent, there's plenty more of this to come.
140.
So Colin Osborne is doing exactly as he knew he must. He had to get out of the blocks pretty quickly, had to establish a lead, and he had to test Taylor's stamina. And Taylor has responded, and that's now his 26th 180 of the tournament.
First one of the final. And the final blue ribbanded already. In play, Aussie averaging 107. Taylor on 104. Fun. Till some daddy takes the cup away. What a game.
The big question is, Sid, can Osborne maintain that average? He's going to have to if he's going to hold on to Taylor. Taylor, we know, can put 10 points on his. That's the equation early on.
But he might be tired. He had to play the second semi. Intense effort in getting the 115 average. It nearly broke the world record. This lad is as fit as a bullwhip. That could be 96. A factor.
So he's left himself 140 in. Taylor needs ton 40, ton 80 to hang on in there.
He lost the weight. It's 6-0 up on Baxter. It looked home and hosed. Then he started dropping. The first start of the 60. 6-3 1 step.
Yes, and Taylor is outside a finishing shot with his next 3 darts. So Colin Osborne surely will be at a double first to go 3 up.
Fat 20's handy.
Got to go high. Doesn't want the treble.
He'll be back.
100.
With the power, could well pressurise it down to single dart. That's pressure. Finding the middle of the bed beautifully and more. This is big pressure, but
136. Colin, you require 40.
Sarah Osborne looking elegant and cool. So's a hobby. Double top.
What a shot! Simply terrific. Simply terrific from Osborne. And it has to be said, Sid, that in that semi-final against Kevin Painter, in 8 legs, he had the opportunity to win them and miss doubles. Now, we knew he couldn't afford that kind of luxury against Taylor, and he's picked up that angle of his game. And he's looking good at this stage, and Taylor has plenty on his platter.
And all you have a mathematical inclination. Listen close. He's underpinning it with 108 average
100.
and 75% checkout. He is out tailoring Taylor. Oh, mama, you see.
Yes, it was his finishing which was just causing a little wrinkle of concern in the semis, Osborne, but
100.
he's ironed that wrinkle out of his game, and if he can maintain this, we're going to have some final.
Eric Bristow with a tongue in both cheeks says he's never lost a leg in a big fight.
44.
Prize for stating the obvious. PDC Obvious Man of the Year at the awards dinner at the Dodge. Understacker needed. Oh, understacker flicked out by the barrel. Still an understacker.
100.
Only 100.
Not often you see a young player. You watch what happens here, the understacker, and it took a wicked deflection, a real rascal of a shot.
Any dart lower than the middle of the bed, it's dangerous for Taylor to
58.
try to stack.
Failure required 161.
Well, he did this, remember, against Baxter, and it really crippled him. Now, chances again. Treble 17, above the wire.
97.
Here we go then, 2-0 for Taylor. Ozzy might let this one drift, or just to keep inside the Taylor brain, might just try to pressure with a 140.
60.
And Taylor's only had 2 shots at a double in these first 3 legs, but now 64 to get a chalk on the board. 16 for his first leg of this final.
Yeah, already the barrel could deflect into the single.
Game,
Beautiful! First
That's
chalk.
Fifth leg, Colin to Rufus. Game on.
Well, as I say, Sean 9-2 against Jason Clark. Showed intent, came through, beat Barney, easy, 9-4. Then beat the very talented Jamie Cavan, whom he practices with in Derby, 10-3. That's Osborne's track record to these vital moments.
Taylor, so far, has only been lukewarm, but we know
98.
in a blink of an eye he could be white hot. But at the moment it is Osborne who is setting the pace and has opened up exactly as the strategists would have suggested. Open a lead and then defend it.
He has to very sharpishly get from lukewarm to Luke Tepid to Luke Skywalker. Gotta crank it up. He's trailing as Osborne by 3 in the averages, 100.5, plays 98.
140.
Brilliant.
Well, there are those figures, as you can see, but the most important figure on the caption is the legs, 3-1. Osborne has a 2-leg daylight lead against his illustrious opponent.
140.
Well, when he makes a match he had against Ronnie Baxter, 6-0 up, then Baxter got it back to 7-6, then Phil at a 1-6-1. Beautiful. Left of the marker. Better! Middle of the bed, how did he get that in? A reverse stacker. What next?
Treble 18 would leave the ball. Should stay there on 54.
82.
Slack visit there
83.
to make it a deficit of only 1. Taylor. Fat 16. Red Pippin in the middle. The bull.
58. Colin required 82.
82 may go for the ball. 32. It's his decision, but he's been very proficient on his